Wonder Woman, Dead Earth is one of the best Elseworld story currently available from DC, and James Gunn revealed that he is a fresh fan of the post-apocalyptic tale. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Wonder Woman, Dead Earth follows Diana through a post-apocalyptic setting. The princess of Themyscira wakes up in a world that has met its end and then some. Daniel Warren Johnson's Wonder Woman, Dead Earth is one of the most intriguing Elseworld stories to come out of DC. The writer is known for his work with Transformers and Marvel's Beta Ray Bill, which have also received high praise from fans and critics alike. James Gunn took to his Threads account to personally praise the comic book writer, whose work Gunn read recently, especially the Elseworld Wonder Woman story. This would be the perfect opportunity to bring back Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman of the Snyderverse to have her essay the role one last time, bringing closure to the universe that was left unfinished. There are a lot of stories in the DC canon that have Wonder Woman surviving the end of the world in one form or another like Wolverine does in the Marvel Universe. Making an Elseworld story that is set out of the main DC continuity would be the way to go with Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, something that is more akin to 2017's Logan. Diana then treks through the world, making friends, and trying to figure out how she slept through the apocalypse in her cryogenic pod. While this is far from a Wonder Woman story that can make its way into Gunn's DCU, given that he now heads DC as its co-chairman, it is difficult not to wonder that this will not factor into his plans for the universe somehow. The immortal Wonder Woman sees the character of Diana deal with the literal end of her universe. From the deaths of her remaining Amazon sisters to seeing Clark Kent fight Darkseid to the death inside the heart of Earth's sun, in this story Diana sees her universe succumb to the darkness before she and the Spectre are the only ones who remain. Given that comic book adaptations have a tendency to adapt multiple storylines to create enough meat for an adaptation, Dead Earth and the immortal Wonder Woman could be combined into one storyline if they were ever adapted, given how similar the stories are. While it is highly unlikely that James Gunn would revisit the Snyderverse, Dead Earth is the perfect opportunity for an Elseworlds film that is just too good to miss. And given that Gunn has revealed how much he has enjoyed the book, there is hope that fans will see this story adapted in some form or another. James Gunn may never adapt this story, given that it might not fit into his vision for the DCU, but the narrative of Dead Earth lends itself to an amazing animated adaptation for Wonder Woman, of which there are few when compared to Superman and Batman, which something that Gunn can look to remedy ASAP. While there are other post-apocalyptic stories that feature Wonder Woman, like Batman, Last Night on Earth, these two stories specifically focus on Wonder Woman and what she would do with her status as an immortal warrior after her companions are long gone. Starred in the DCU film Wonder Woman 1984. Contrary to the number in the title, WW 1984 was a sequel to the 2017 film Wonder Woman and by all means, a failure. Well, look what the stork brung. It's Pedro Pascal in a suit in James Gunn's DCU, too soon. Let's dial it back a few years ago when Gal Gadot was a part of the DCU and Patty Jenkins was the director. The film ends with the world letting go of their desires and Maxwell Lord defeated. Since the film was considered a failure, Pascal's role as Lord was actually forgotten by people, until now. In the 2020 film, Pascal portrayed the role of Maxwell Lord, a shrewd entrepreneur who ends up giving people their dreams but, at a personal cost to each one. Upon closer inspection, the logo does look like Lord Maxwell's business and that could only mean one thing. The heroes are getting sponsorship. Well, quite true, but it could also mean that Pedro Pascal could potentially reprise his role of Maxwell Lord in the upcoming James Gunn's DCU film. A recent set photo from the sets of James Gunn's Superman was released on the internet. The photo featured the character of Mr. Terrific wearing a suit with a certain logo on it. But there are other updates regarding the Last of Us actor which might potentially mean that Pascal will not be available for James Gunn or the DCU since he has already joined the MCU. But on the other hand, it is too soon to confirm or deny that Pascal will indeed be reprising his role in Gunn's DCU or not. Fans really hope that Pascal will return as Maxwell Lord, but it entirely depends on Gunn and Pascal. Upon closer inspection, the logo does look like Lord Maxwell's business and that could only mean one thing. The heroes are getting sponsorship. Well, quite true, but it could also mean that Pedro Pascal could potentially reprise his role of Maxwell Lord in the upcoming James Gunn's DCU film. Although not many details have been revealed about the project, Stranger Things star Joseph Quinn is also alongside Pascal and he has much to say about the project. In an interview with Comic Book, Quinn gave an update on the filming of Fantastic Four and how his co-stars were faring. It's been a wonderful experience so far. We've got a wonderful gang on it with Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss-Backrack, to name but a few. I'm very excited. I'm nervous, obviously. Well, of course he is busy working with Marvel Studios and geared up to join the MCU with the upcoming film Fantastic Four. Being a reboot with Matt Shakman attached as director, fans have high hopes and Pascal is portraying the role of Mr. Fantastic. Despite the conflict of schedule, fans are still hoping that Pascal might join James Gunn's DCU at some point in the future and reprise his role of Maxwell Lord. The 2020 DCU film, Wonder Woman 1984, received a rating of 5.4/10 on IMDb and a record low of 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. The script is amazing. The intention behind it is... we're going for it. From starring in HBO's The Last of Us to portraying an MCU hero, Pedro Pascal is indeed quite busy and seems to have his schedule packed with upcoming projects. Connie Nielsen is making sure no one gets to play Queen Hippolyta other than herself. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Connie Nielsen is currently busy promoting Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2, and in her interview with IGN, she sent out a message to the folks at DC Studios. As much as we all miss Gal Gadot and her adventures as Diana Prince, it was actress Connie Nielsen who expressed her desire to keep Queen Hippolyta to herself. So far, there hasn't been any news on making another Wonder Woman film. Many fans were disappointed after learning Wonder Woman 3 will no longer move forward following the overhaul at DC Studios. As soon as James Gunn and Peter Safran became heads of the Empire, all plans for the movie were cancelled. The prequel TV series is reportedly in the works, as Gunn confirmed in a response in Threads. A fan asked for an update, and the filmmaker replied with, "Very active development. I have the dibs on Hippolyta, okay? Please, because I love Hippolyta. I love her so much, and I love those Amazons and that world so much. Honestly, is there anything cooler? Us in our golden armor riding down that incredible alley." The Danish star clearly states her passion for the role, and if ever James Gunn gives the green light on a new Wonder Woman project, she would volunteer to play it again. Sadly, the planned third installment never got off the ground, but there is still hope that we'll possibly meet the characters again in Paradise Lost. Connie Nielsen is currently busy promoting Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2, and in her interview with IGN, she sent out a message to the folks at DC Studios, as much as we all miss Gal Gadot and her adventures as Diana Prince. It was actress Connie Nielsen who expressed her desire to keep Queen Hippolyta to herself. So far, there hasn't been any news on making another Wonder Woman film. Playing Queen Hippolyta made Nielsen realize a bunch of things about power and authority, which could also be applicable in today's political landscape. She described in her interview with Silas Lesnick on YouTube that true authority lies within a moral framework and is based on a leader's own values and intellectual disposition. Paradise Lost, like many other titles